home. Okay. I'm scared people are out to get me. Like, I should never feel like that. Mama, it hurts when I breathe. I want to come home. My chest hurts. Like, my head got banged in. Like, I want to come home, Mama. I don't care about none of that stuff. I just want to know why everybody hates me. I just want to go home. I want to go home. Okay. I'm scared people are out to get me. Like, I should never feel like that.
Let's talk about real life issues, love and relationships. Let's have a good time with the missus. Let's talk about celebrities. Let's talk about caring events. Let's talk about things you don't see on regular TV. So join in on PGT time. PGT time. Tune in on PGT time. PGT time. Come join us on PGT time. PGT time. Join us on PGT time. PGT time. Yeah.
In order for y'all to do what God is calling y'all to do, to take y'all platform for it to plateau and it can go to levels that you never seen, don't best believe it's gonna come with devils.
You know what I'm saying? Every time I speak, I want to shiver. You know, I don't want them to be like they know what I'm gonna say because it's polite. But I know if I keep talking about how dirty it is out here, somebody gonna clean it up.
Warning. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
Hi, everybody. It's your girl, the Missus. It's really me, the Missus with the kisses, baby. What's good, everybody? What's good? I know y'all like, oh, hell, what's going on? She got some glasses on. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you guys why, okay? Again, thank you all for joining tonight. I really, really appreciate y'all coming out to support our family for tonight. We have Miss Denise McClendon. She is in the building, and she is here to tell her loved one story, which is her daughter, which is Miss Aliyah Wilson. I'm sure you guys have seen the pictures all over on social media because y'all know I've been posting. For those that haven't seen her, this is Aliyah. And now, I don't know about y'all, but I'm telling y'all now, this girl looks like Lauren London to me. I don't know if Denise have been told this several times, but every time I see this picture, I think of Lauren London. And Lauren London, as you all know, is a beautiful young lady. And so was Aliyah Wilson. So she is deceased. For those that have been watching my social media page on Facebook and on IG as well, You guys know that we have posed the question. This young lady was found hung on her balcony in Texas. And Denise, which is her mother, believes that her daughter was murdered. The police, on the other hand, is stating that it was suicide. So we're going to discuss all of this tonight. But first, I must bring up my co-host. Y'all know I can't do this without Jason.
Hello, what up, though? How y'all doing? Welcome in. I see you. What up, Pete? Look, we out here, 4-Eye Gang. 4-Eye Gang.
We are twinning. This will be the only time, hopefully, y'all will see me with my glasses on.
That's it.
But before Jason gives his spiel, Jason, I gotta tell you and everybody that's watching, for the people that did not see it on my page, why I got these glasses on tonight. So, and I'm gonna try to make it quick so we can hurry up and bring Miss Denise up just as well. So, one thing, Jason, that a lot of people don't know is that I had to go back into the building of my job. I didn't put it on Facebook or anything. It was a certain point in time that I was going to let everybody know. But I guess I got to tell them now. But I had to go back in the building because Peachy Tea Time, basically, my passion is with Peachy Tea Time. I mean, there's no other way to say it. And I slipped up. It wasn't nobody's fault but my own. I slipped up on my numbers. And hey, Chantel. Hey, Lamar. Hey, Josette. Hey, Mama Peach. Hey, Shirlene. But I messed up myself. You know, I can't blame nobody but myself. And I didn't get my numbers, so I have to go back in the building for 30 days. Okay? So my 30 days started on last Monday. So yes, I didn't tell nobody but my close circle of friends. Of course, I told Jason, and you know, some of my family. So today, Jason, I don't know if you've been watching my page today, but today I went in the building, went to work. We have 2 elevators in order to get to my floor. This is how big the building is. I went in with good spirits last week, still in good spirits. And one of the good things, Jason, about it is when we was in New York, you saw how much pain I was in with my legs and everything, you know, because I'm sitting at one computer all day long and then get up and go to the next computer to prepare for Peachy Tea Time. So being that I'm back in the building, Jason, my legs has been so much better. Thank you, Jesus. Shout out to God.
Shout out to God.
My legs has been so much better. I'm walking even faster with speed and everything. So I'm so thankful for that. But Jason, baby, now I can't say exactly what I said because Mama Peach is on here. But I'm leaving work today. We got to go through 2 elevators. Get out the first elevator. I'm talking to my friend Chantel on the phone, kikiing, hi, all that. And explicit language, and also allegedly. Let me get that out the way. I get on the second elevator. The second elevator takes you to the parking garage. Okay. And I get on the second elevator, and it's not a secret. Everybody knows I smoke cigarettes. So they have a special section in the parking garage, which is on P2. So I hit P2 instead of P6 to get to my car. When I hit P2, I said, oh, shoot, I forgot. I need to go to P6. So I hit P6. As soon as I hit P6, the lobby light popped on. And then all of a sudden, the elevator just stopped. I couldn't go nowhere. So I'm like, oh, let me hit P6 a couple more times, man. So
just to make sure. Yeah.
I'm going crazy. So I hit P6 and nothing still was happening. It wasn't moving or nothing. So I'm like, okay, it's cool. You know, things happen.
Yeah, don't panic.
There's the intercom button. Hit the intercom. The lady comes on. Yes. Can barely hear her. I said, I'm stuck in the elevator. She was like, okay, do you know where you are? I said, somewhere between P2 and P1. I don't know. She was like, okay, don't worry about it. We'll send somebody to come get you. I said, okay. 10 minutes passed. I don't see nobody. I don't hear nobody. I said, let me hit the intercom again. Now, keep in mind, I'm trying to text Chantel back to let her know I'm
you
good.
locked in.
The phone just went completely out. Every time I would try to text somebody, I get the red circle, which means it's not going through. I'm like, okay, it's okay. I'm fine. They finna send somebody. Let me just hit the intercom again. Hit the intercom, Jason. Nothing happened.
The Lord have mercy. This is one of the things that terrify you.
Baby, at this time is when I panicked. When I tell y'all, I cried like a baby.
You cried your contacts out?
I cried like a baby. I cried like somebody was literally trying to kill me. Right then.
It felt like it.
That's how I felt. I started thinking about movies, how the elevator just goes straight down. I started thinking about what's going to happen when we open this door. You see, I'm sweating already. I was sweating like crazy. It's like somebody poured water on me. I was sweating like crazy. I'm like, I got to call somebody. This heifer ain't answering the phone or the intercom. What is going on? So I text my supervisor. It went through. But she ain't at the building no more. She at home working from home. It went through. I'm like, okay, she gonna call me any minute. Took her a second, but she called me. And it went through. By the time all I could do is hit the button to answer it. I can hear my supervisor saying, Tennille. I said, get me, please. I'm not over exaggerating. I'm not lying to y'all. None of that. Okay, I'm telling y'all the honest to God truth. I was crying like, I'm like, Lord, I know you ain't finna take me out in that elevator.
That part.
Not this job elevator. You ain't finna take me out.
Not this way. Not this way.
Not this way. I started praying to God. Finally, I got myself together to talk to my supervisor. I said, supervisor, because I ain't going to say her name, but I said, supervisor. I said, they ain't here. I said, they got to come get me. She was like, I'm finna make these phone calls. Don't worry. Calm down. Now, at this time, Sherilyn, she got my text message. She upstairs. All I can see is her text messages come through. Calm down. Stay calm. Just stay calm. She's constantly sending a message. Just stay calm. And I'm just in the elevator, boo-hoo, crying. Finally, Latricia said, Tennille, I said her name. She said, Tennille, she said, I got to hang up with you to call these other people because the other folks ain't answering. I said, okay, please call me back. She called me back. She had the people on the phone. They said, look at the panel inside the elevator and tell me where you at. I said, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to stand. I don't know what to do. Please go get me. Jesus, please go get me, y'all, please. They said, okay, you know what? Don't worry about it. The call came through. Somebody's coming. Another 10 minutes went past. I was in there for 20 minutes.
Half an hour. Oh, God.
Yes, 20 minutes. Another 10 minutes passed. Finally, I'm still on the phone with my supervisor. Shout out to my supervisor, baby, because she did not let me off that phone, okay? All of a sudden, I hear people. I said, supervisor, I hear people. Then all of a sudden, yeah, I'm here. Please help me. They said, can you hear me? I said, yes, please let me out. And I'm still boohoo crying. All of a sudden, the elevator doors just open. And guess where I'm at? On P3. P3 was never even pushed. I'm on P3. I step out that elevator. I said, supervisor, I'm on P3. She said, Don't you got to get the P6? I said, yes. She said, get back in a different elevator. 4 elevators. Get back in a different elevator and go to P6. I said, to hell.
Taking these steps.
Ain't no steps. I had to literally walk through the entire parking garage.
Oh no.
To get to P6. And I was
like
on
you
P6.
Driving up, you got to walk
like
up the
you
levels.
Driving up.
Yeah.
I walked my ass all the way up there. I didn't care. Jason, when I tell you, I had to call my supervisor and apologize. I told her I was so angry. It's like I had an out-of-body experience.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like every cuss word you can think of was coming out my mouth. If they had cameras and they can hear, they probably would have came to my house and fired me. That's how bad I was cussing.
Not that bad.
Jason, it was bad. It was bad. I told her, I said, if today, I'm going to say it like this. I said, if today was October 17th, I said, I would tell you, beep, 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 beep. I quit. I ain't coming back in the And she just sat there and she was like, Tanel, just calm down. I know you're upset. I know you're scared. I mean, I'm drenching in sweat. I said, here go P6. I said, I'm at P6. I said, I'll let you go. I'm still crying. Hang up with her. I'm like, where's my car? I'm on P6. And all of a sudden I see P7. And then I see these 2 men that work in the parking garage. And they like, I said, excuse me, I can't find my car. He said, hit your button on your keys. All I could tell this man was, screaming from the top of my lung was, I was stuck in the elevator. He said, I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm so sorry. Man, here I come. He hurried up. He came up there where I was at. He was like, come on, I'm finna walk you to P6. Yeah. Shout out to this man. I don't know who he was. I just know he worked in the parking garage. He walked me all the way to P6 because I went the wrong way. He walked me up there. He told me when we get up there that this guy is going to come out and he's going to question me on what happened. Black guy. He comes out the building. He got long dreads. Very handsome young man. He says, are you okay? My eyes bloodshot red. Are you okay? I gave him the dirtiest look. I said, no, I'm traumatized. I said, I am traumatized. People coming out the building. Are you okay? No, I'm not okay. I was stuck in the elevator. So he took my information. I went and got in my car. And when I tell y'all, I just sat in my car and I just cried. No. And I thank God for getting me out of that elevator. Amen. That's all I could do. And I sat there, Jason, for at least a good 5 minutes. I sat there. So the reason why I have the glasses on is because being that I was crying so bad, I wear contacts. They're clear contacts. They're not colored. My eyes are colored. But the contacts was irritating my eyes. And as you can see, this happened earlier today. And you see my eye is still freaking red. Yeah. So I said, I got to take the contacts out. And I have to wear the glasses for this show because my eyes need to not be irritated with anything at this point. So hopefully in the morning when I get up to go to work, they'll be back to normal. My son think I got the pink eye. He said, Mommy, you got a pink eye. I said, no, I don't. Mama was stuck in the elevator crying like a baby.
That's messed up.
Yes. But again, thank God they keep fogging up. Thank God, I was able to get out safely. Unharmed. Yes. Thank God for the people that came and helped me. I could not see them. I don't know if they was on another floor or whatever. but they helped me. So thank you, Mr. Guys, that helped me. Shout out to my supervisor. Shout out to my friends. My friends was on it. They kept calling. They was texting me, even though I couldn't talk to them. I was able to talk to Chantel. Chantel ended up calling back. I answered the phone, just boohoo crying. I could tell she was scared shitless. But there was literally nothing she can do. There was nothing I can do. There was only one thing that I can do. And Jason, that was pray. That's all I could do was pray.
I mean, you could have shimmied through the top of it like they do in the movies.
I couldn't do nothing. Couldn't do nothing. Couldn't do nothing but call on the Lord.
Top.
Call on the Lord, baby. That's all I can do.
I'm not going in elevators after that. Trust and believe. Like, we got to go up 10 flights. I'll meet you down here. I'll stay.
Exactly. And we do have stairs. So I think that's what I will be doing, is taking the stairs,
Good.
Until the rest of the term. But again, we still got a huge announcement. We still got a huge announcement. I will be telling y'all that later on, but we gotta get Denise up here. Jason, you go ahead with your spiel.
You already know, man. Perfect story time, guys. So if you want more like that, if you want more where you can just chill with us, make sure you hit that like button. If you're over on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so you can get that notification when we go live. Also, like this one here, hit thumbs up and drop us a comment. Say what up, though. Let us know that you are in the chat. If you're out on Facebook or any of the other platforms like Twitch or Twitter, or YouTube, please make sure that you hit the like button on that as well. Now, if you want to go and do something different and upgrade yourself, upgrade you can go straight over to Roku TV. That's right. We are on Roku TV. So if you have a Roku TV or a Roku stick or box, go ahead and look us up. It's PGT Time. That's time spelled with the Y, TYME, and you'll be able to follow us on there with the application and then know when we go live and watch us live on your big screen TV. Now, guys, we are rounding out the month of September. We're still looking for a family to give a memorial to. Nope, we actually have it. I was gonna say we have it. We have the family for September now. Congratulations to that family. So we'll be sending them out a memorial to their lawn. It'll be up for 24 hours. They can memorial 48.
Oh, sorry. I was coughing.
Oh, okay. I was going to say 24, 48, 24. I was going to say 24 hours.
No. Okay, let's just tell the truth. No, you don't know this, but right. I got to cut you off. And I will be contacting the family just as well. They might be watching, but I will be contacting them after the show or tomorrow. When we started the yard sign, we started in Saginaw, Michigan. Okay. In Saginaw, Michigan, Jason, just like Detroit, everything right around the corner. Okay. Here in Atlanta, Jason has been here. He knows everything is fire. Everything is fire. The very first yard sign people that I found, they wanted to charge a lot of money, and we just can't afford that. So I still want to be able to give something to the families, so they will be presented with a gift. They will be presented with a custom-made gift, and I will be delivering it. I will be delivering it. Yeah. So y'all gonna get a chance to meet me face to face.
So we will be doing that for September and October. For October and November.
Yes.
All right. So still again, guys, get those letters in, nominate a family that will receive a gift, custom-made gift for the months of October and November. And like she just said, Peachy will be the one delivering it herself. So we're out here for the families. We're out here to support and be a support system for these families and show that life still is beautiful after such traumatic experiences with anyone that was in their family. So send in send in your family that you want to nominate. Send it in to Peachy, hit her in the DMs, and we can continue from there. Now we're about to get into the show. We appreciate Denise, right? That's her name, because I see justice for Aliyah is in the building. So we're gonna get to her story and talk about her daughter and praise her.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and bring up Miss Denise. I definitely want to apologize because you all know we never have our families waiting down there this long, but I had to tell this story. I had to. So let's bring up Denise. Here we go. Hi, Denise. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
And Denise, I do apologize for having you down there for so long, but I had to share my story with them on what happened today. Denise didn't even know what happened today. Denise probably looked at me with my glasses and was like, just, hey, girl. But I never wear my glasses on the show. Never, never, never. So thank you for your patience. I really appreciate it. But we are here to celebrate your daughter's life. She is definitely in a better place at this time because this world is something else. It is definitely something else, and you know that just as well. So let's go ahead and begin and tell us a little bit about Aliyah, your daughter, your baby.
Yes. Aliyah was she was very passionate. She loved people. She cared about people. Her favorite color was yellow, like the sunshine. She was just a joy. So that like fit her so well, that color that she loved. When she was younger, she loved watching Cat Dog, a cartoon. She loved nature. She liked being outdoors. She loved butterflies and stuff. I don't know if you've seen any pictures of her with her tattoo on her shoulder. It was of wildflowers and stuff, and so she just was a joy to be around. Always happy. Everybody loved her. So, and she loved everybody. Anybody that she cared very deeply about people. She wanted to be a social worker and help people. So,
okay. Now, I want to start off by telling people that's watching this show to be very respectful in the comments. This story runs deep. Okay. Denise will tell you just as well. It runs deep. You guys heard the sneak peek. That was Aliyah on the sneak peek crying, saying that she wanted to come home. Aliyah was in Texas, and you reside in Detroit, correct?
No, Flint, Michigan.
Flint, Michigan. Okay, Flint, Michigan. Okay. There were some things that we want to touch on tonight. Tonight is about bringing awareness just as well. Okay. It's about bringing awareness to our communities just as well. Denise been through a lot, y'all. I'm just going to say it. She has been through so much for this to be her daughter that is no longer with us. I'm going to say that because we don't know, as far as me and Jason, we don't know for a fact what happened. Okay. But at the end of the day, Miss Denise has been disrespected. Miss Denise have sent me so many videos, so many clips, so many paperwork that she sent to me of nothing but total disrespect. As a mother that lost her child, I just cannot understand why young people out there, regardless of what you know or what you don't know, how they could be so disrespectful to her in such a horrible, horrible moment. Denise, let's start by telling us, as far as Aliyah, when me and you were on the phone this afternoon, because I want to make sure that everyone's clear on this, okay? Aliyah didn't always live with you, correct?
Right.
Okay, can you elaborate on that, please?
Yes. When she was like 5 years old, Aliyah had been molested as a child. So she had gone to stay at a foster home. She basically got taken from me, and I did everything that they had required of me to do to get my daughter back. I did parenting classes, drug tests, and I got my daughter back. And then
And
when
how old was she when you got her back?
she was around 8.
Okay.
Around 8 years old. And when I got my child back, I moved her to Texas. That's why she knew about. We lived in Houston, and I when we were in Houston, Aliyah decided not to live with me because when she was 13, she didn't want, because I'm disabled and I'm always at home, and she wanted to be in a foster home because she could do what she wanted to do, she felt, because she knew foster parents had to work and I didn't have to work, and I was always watching her, and she didn't like that. She wanted to do what she wanted to do. So she lived in a foster home till she was about 17, almost to 18. She was almost ready to she was almost 18, almost ready to get out of the foster home, and she left before she aged out. And she came back to live with me, and she lived with me for a couple months, and then I had decided to move back to Michigan because my family was getting older. So, and she decided to stay.
Okay. Now, at 8 years, you said 13. Was it 8 or 13 that she decided to go to the foster care? Was it 13? Okay, so at the age of 13, she was able to just come to you and say, I want to go to foster care, and just actually go?
Oh no. I had a lot of problems with her. She had she had a felonious assault charge on her from a police officer. She was just acting out. She was diagnosed as, because I would take her to get help. So they diagnosed her with bipolar. So being diagnosed with bipolar, so whenever she would act out, I ended up taking her to like a mental hospital and stuff, and then she basically decided. It was basically her decided. I never signed my rights off to her though. I would never do that.
Okay. Do you have any other children?
Yes, I have 3. I don't know if you hear them in the background. I have 9-year-old twins, a boy and a girl, and then a 12-year-old little girl.
Okay, and a 12-year-old little girl. And Aliyah was the oldest.
Yes, she was.
Okay. Now, when Aliyah decided to go to the foster care from the age of 13 through 17?
Yeah, almost 18.
Okay,
Yeah.
so almost 18. Did you see her in between that time?
No, not really. Not really. Not really. She was in a group home too, for acting out. So she was in that for like a year. So, but I never really got to see her. I'd write her letters and stuff, but she was out of town in Houston. I don't know, I can't remember what town, but she had been in a girls' home for quite a while, a girls and a boys' home, and I didn't really get to see her. No.
Did you have could you go and see her if you wanted to?
When she was in the not when she was in the foster home, because Texas, their laws is crazy. And so Texas, I couldn't even know where she was staying at in Texas. They wouldn't let me know any information about her. Basically, because I kind of did tell them, because of my troubles with her, that okay, keep her where she's at. You know, I didn't want to deal with it because I mean, she had, not to talk bad about my daughter, but she had carved on my dining room table with a knife. That's when I called the police, and she ended up kicking the police officer, got felonious assault. I just look at it like teenage years. She was acting out. And then like when I had took her one time to the mental hospital, because she was in that hospital, she learned from the other patients that were in the hospital, she learned to say that she told me she was, I think she said she was homicidal. She said she wanted to beat up girls with big hoop earrings. And it was a word, I
Oh
think
Lord.
it
Oh
was a
Lord.
word that she couldn't, it was a word she couldn't even spell. And it was like, what? She didn't even know the definition or whatever she was saying she was. Yeah, it was like, so I had my problems with her, but we
Now,
were.
You know, I think I'm hearing just to, I mean, and to bring love and light to her. I think like many young women that experienced, or even children, people, I want to put it in general purposes, right? Experience such traumatic scenarios so young, they become, I want to say, more emotional restraint or restricted than most, and their initial like defense is to react instead of respond, right? And I think she was just a very emotional, reactive child, and to have to continue to grow up in those circumstances cause her to be more reactive in spaces than responsive, because if we take our time and respond to things, we tend to come out with a better light and decision on it, right? When we're reacting to it because we're in fight or flight or always fight mode, it tends to give a different look on it. So I would love to believe that what you're describing, right? And I want to also make sure that we continue to paint a narrative of this young lady, that because that's what I know, that's what you're doing, but I want others to like receive it like that as well. That
exactly.
not everyone has the ability to respond like we will want them to, right? So when you're explaining this about your daughter, we're not looking at her because like, oh, she's in and out of treatments, she's in and out of mental like facilities and all this thing. It's because she doesn't know how to express herself. That's why I say when I think of people or the mental institutions or the doctors, when they put that coin phrase of being bipolar, I think is that no one has walked this child or person through how to express or even deal with emotions. So you'd
Yeah,
rather coin them as bipolar because 1 second they're this and then 1 second they're that. And that's just really because we don't know how to internalize what's going on. So we want to be reactive. So I think that's what I'm hearing. And I want everybody else to make sure that they're hearing that same thing. So I want to say something about that. Continue on, Denise.
you are exactly right, because she didn't know how to express herself, and seeing doctors and being in hospitals, they gave her coping mechanisms. Like she had a
Mhm.
journal, she would have like little Nerf guns. She learned to cope with her feelings. So that's why she was acting out, because she had all this mixed emotions and feelings that she didn't know how to deal with. And she was taught to deal with it. She had a journal and stuff. She had coping mechanisms.
Good. I love that. I love that.
Doing a lot better.
All right. I want to say something. This is going to be a little different. I see someone in the comments, Mrs. Scott. And I do know Mrs. Scott. And Mrs. Scott, Julie, Julie, she deals with people like this, on a daily basis. The foster care system, all of that. So, Julie, I really would like for you to chime in as much as you can on what you're hearing and what you're feeling by listening to what you're hearing. Okay. Please, she said yes. She said yes. So please, Julie, chime in. If I would have been thinking correctly, I've just been so busy these past couple weeks. I definitely would have had Julie come up. So, Julie, just as you hear us speaking and talking, please chime in on the comment in the comment section and let us know what you're feeling. Okay. Now back to the story. Miss Denise, was Aliyah suicidal? I just
No,
asked that. Have she ever tried to commit suicide before?
The police said that they said, and also I spoke to my daughter, it's not that she tried to commit suicide. 2018, she took some ibuprofen pills, and when I spoke to my daughter, she told me, she said that she took the pills, and she said she took them because she wanted to get her ex-girlfriend's attention. The ex-girlfriend was at the club, and she wanted her to come home, and she was trying to get her to come home, and that was the only way she could get her to come home. But she wasn't trying to like end it. She just wanted the girl to come home.
Okay. So Aliyah was dating a young lady. Okay. I do have a clip that we're gonna show that you had sent me. I'm not gonna play the whole thing, but I just have a little portion of that I want to show just as well. But before we get started into that, I want to play the news broadcast that you sent me. Okay, so let's go ahead, jump into that, and then when we come back, we're gonna just go ahead and dive into it, okay, on what occurred and how you found out and what steps was taken. Okay, so here we go.
Have died or went missing gathered outside of Houston's police department headquarters demanding justice for their loved ones. CW39's Gianelle Giglino actually attended the protest and is live in our studio to tell us more about what she saw. Good morning, Gianella.
Good morning, Sharon. The families and protesters were chanting, "Justice delayed is justice denied." They say they want answers and will continue to protest until they get them. For two Houston mothers, this is how they fight for their children who are no longer with them. AJ Silva has been missing for almost a year now. He was last seen near a warehouse on Lumberdale Road in Northwest Houston. The family says he had an ankle monitor at the time of his disappearance.
It shouldn't be like that. He was only 19. He was my only son. It shouldn't be like this. I shouldn't have to be doing this. I shouldn't have to be fighting for justice.
On July 19, 2021, Aliyah Wilson was found hung in her apartment balcony. Her death ruled a suicide. Her family doesn't agree and wants HPD to review the case and evidence they believe proves her death is not a suicide.
Everybody that matters, she has such a sweet heart. Everybody loved her. And she didn't deserve this.
HPD officers came outside the headquarters to speak to the families about their cases. AJ Silva's family says they just want him to come home. At the protest, I asked HPD officers if they had any comments about the protest. They said they had no statement at the moment. Reporting live in studio, Gianelle Giglino, CW39 Houston.
Plus, Gianella.
All right. So that was the news broadcast. Denise, you mentioned to me that you never got the chance to have a press conference. You never got the chance to have your own news broadcast. You literally had to chime in on this one. Tell us about that.
I had to ask her. She was packing up. The news lady was packing up her stuff and about to leave. And I approached her and asked her, would she tell my daughter's story? And then she edited it and took out everything I said. She just edited it and took out basically everything I said. And it was like, wow. It was, and then the how the officers came out and spoke to us, they sent out Homeland Security to speak to us. That's the officer that came out to talk to us, and he did nothing.
Now, what were some of the things?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. What were some of the things that you said on the news broadcast that they cut out?
I did mention that my daughter was holding a cell phone in her hand. That was cut out because that wasn't even mentioned. I can't remember everything I mentioned, but I know for a fact I mentioned that because that was very important. I know there was other things I mentioned, but I don't remember everything because they had been like a year, 2 years ago.
Okay. So as of now, this was 3 years ago, correct?
Right.
Okay. So let's go back. How did you find out that your daughter was deceased? Let's start from the beginning.
Okay, on July 19th of 2020, my daughter was found hung in Houston, and I was not informed until 4 days later, July 23rd. And how I was informed is I woke up to a text message that read, they told me your daughter has died. And that was from my daughter's ex-girlfriend who knew my daughter passed on the 19th, who had my telephone number. But she texted me that.
Did they live together?
My daughter called her ex because I believe, because I have a text message from my daughter. She says, I'll ask when the girl comes home. She'd ask the girlfriend when she got home. So that right there shows that she lived with her, but Aliyah always called her ex because Aliyah was like, she knew people was getting tired of her talking about the abuse. So she just thought it would be better to say that it was her ex.
Okay. So Aliyah dealt with abuse.
Yes.
With her and her girlfriend.
Yes. There's police reports on it. There's documented reports.
Okay.
And then there's eyewitnesses, and then all of my daughter's friends knew about it. Everybody knew about it. Her next door neighbor, he said his walls used to shake. Came outside one day, see my daughter all bloody on the stoop, talking about call the police. So he knew firsthand about it.
Do you know how long she dealt with the abuse?
Yeah, she wrote a statement and said that she put up with it for 2 years.
Wow. So they was together for 2 years or longer than 2 years?
As far as I know, 2 years.
2 years. Okay. Okay. Again, you guys, like I told you all, this story runs very, very deep. Okay. I'm going to play a video. This video is of her girlfriend and ex-girlfriend. Let's call it like she called it. Her ex-girlfriend, and her name was Courtney, was it? Courtney. So we're gonna play this video. Let me put up my explicit language banner because she had a lot of cuss words that she had to say. So I tried to just cut out a certain portion, Denise. But you have seen this entire video. Everything that I'm showing, you've seen it. So, and actually, these are the only 2 clips that we have. So let's go ahead and get into it.
What I'm not finna have is people sitting here trying to come for me and telling me or trying to make it seem like I'm the reason or I'm a part of the reason why what led up to Aliyah's death. What led up to Aliyah's death, bro, is that she didn't want to be here, y'all. This girl was fighting demons before I even met her. This girl was fighting mental illness before she, like at the age of 13, my nigga. So y'all don't know shit that led up to her death, bro. She didn't want to be here. She didn't want to be here. Even the times when I was with her and I was trying to help her fight her mental illness, bro, she told me multiple times she didn't want to be here, my nigga. She didn't want to be here, bro. And ain't nobody got shit to tell me, bro. Can't nobody tell me shit about this girl, bro. Y'all only know based off of what the fuck she told y'all. Y'all only know based off of what the fuck she told y'all, bro. Y'all didn't know our fucking relationship. Y'all didn't know half the shit that I had to deal with when it came to her fucking mental, bro. Nobody. And I bet you the people that's watching, y'all couldn't tell me 5 facts about this girl, bro. Y'all couldn't tell me 5 facts about this girl, boo. So I'ma need y'all to stay and keep my name out y'all fucking mouth, bro.
Okay, so that was Courtney. And from what Courtney is letting us know on that clip is that Denise, people was thinking it was her, correct? That she was the one that did this.
Courtney has recently did an interview with this lady on YouTube, and in that video, she says that she thinks that somebody did this to my daughter. So she went back and forth, and now she's back at that somebody did do this.
At one point, did you think Courtney did this to your daughter?
Yes, because I knew about the abuse, all the messages, and the one part of that video that you didn't wasn't able to play is in that video. She says, "Ciroc, you know what the f you did? You set Aliyah up." So for until she actually did that interview, maybe I'd say probably maybe 2 months ago, I believed that she had something to do with it all the time. Now I believe that she set my daughter up. She watched it happen. I was told, and I don't know if people believe this or not, believe in psychics, but I know I have seen online that Courtney posted that Aliyah will get what she's got coming to her. And those are Courtney's exact words. And the psychic told me that she kept hearing over and over in her head again, "You'll get what you deserve." And I'm like, oh, that makes sense. And then also my daughter told me a story that like that voice clipping that you played at the beginning of my daughter's where she says she wants to come home. The story behind that is because I spoke to my daughter. And my daughter told me that Courtney came to her apartment and she broke into my daughter's apartment with a man and a female. And Courtney let this man and this female beat my daughter while she stood above her, watched, and laughed. And that's the story she gave me on that one.
And then that's when she sent the video. I mean, not the video, but the message to you.
Yes.
Okay, let's go into this message again. And I want you guys to listen closely. Here we go.
I just want to know why everybody hates me. I just want to go home. I want to go home. Again, I'm scared people are out to get me. Like, I should never feel like that. Mama, it hurts when I breathe. I want to come home. My chest hurts. Like, my head got banged in. Like, I want to come home, Mama. I don't care about any of that stuff. I just want to know why everybody hates me. I just want to go home. I want to go home. Again, I'm scared people are out to get me. Like, I should never feel like that.
Now, Denise, when I talked to you earlier today, you told me that it's an open book. Okay. I wasn't able to play everything that you sent me.
Right.
Okay. But I listened to them. And there are some things that I want to discuss. Okay. Now, in that call that she sent to you, she said that she feels like people are out to get her. Number one, do you feel like that had anything to do with her being diagnosed with bipolar? Like, was this a mental health issue? Or did she really feel like somebody was out to get her? That you believe?
She really felt like somebody was out to get her. And I believe she felt like Courtney was out to get her. A month before Aliyah was found, Aliyah tried to buy, I don't know if I'm allowed to say GUN gun, but she tried to buy that a month before she died. I got a text. She texted one of her friends and she said, do you know somebody selling one between 170 to 180? Her friend replied, no, but if I come across one, I'll let you know. Are you okay? Aliyah said, no, but I'm gonna be all right. She's scared a month before. So, and then with that video also, the police report states that, I forget who the witness is, but somebody heard my daughter say, are you ready? Of course she said, are you ready? When these two people are staying in the house, she's not just going to be like, just stand there. Okay, beat me up now. Of course, my daughter was a fighter. So if they came in the house and they was getting ready to get her, she was going to fight both of them and fight back. She wasn't just going to stand there and let them beat her.
Okay. There was another video that you sent me that I listened to. And in the video, and I think me and you spoke on it just as well, that there was an issue as far as Aliyah being the getaway driver.
Mm-hmm.
Can you elaborate on that story? Because I want to make sure that everybody that's listening can put things together. You know, we don't know what happened. We wasn't there. Wasn't nobody there that's watching the show tonight. Unless the people that did it saw that you was sharing the flyer and stuff, you know. So that would be the only way that they can come on here and see. Or if they just happen to know PGT time and saw me sharing the flyer. Okay. Let's go to that. Her being the getaway driver. Let's elaborate on it.
Well, the story I heard on that was I was being nice to Courtney at the beginning of this because I was being fake. I wanted information. So, and then I couldn't take it no more because she was victim bashing my daughter and I just couldn't take it. But she told me was the getaway driver. I said, getaway driver to what? She told me, she said that Aliyah was driving. She said Ciroc was in the back seat underneath a blanket. And they went to pick up this girl named Tay McKenzie. I guess it's a fake name. I've never been able to find her. And they picked her up and Ciroc jumped out from behind the backs, from underneath the cover and hit Tay in the head with the crowbar. I was like, did she press charges? And Courtney had told me no, Tay didn't press charges because Tay liked Aliyah, but Tay's gang, she had quit the gang, and because her gang got upset with her or with Tay because Tay wouldn't retaliate against my daughter, and that's the story I heard from Courtney. So I don't know if it's true or not.
Okay, so it was a possibility that this could be true. Let's just call it like it is. It's a possibility. And the gang people could have possibly came back for Aliyah. Now, is this because Tay was hit in the head with was it a crowbar you said it was something? A crowbar? Okay, so could it be because Tay was hit in the head with a crowbar? Because I'm assuming that Tay got in the front seat.
Right.
Aliyah was driving, Tay got in the front seat. And you said Courtney? No, not Courtney. It's Ciroc. It's so many people involved in this show.
Yeah.
I told y'all it runs deep. It runs deep. Jason, he's seen the clips just as well. He listened to them. Yep. So Ciroc could have injured her or anything. Like you said, you asked did she go to the hospital, did she press charges rather? Do you think that they could have been coming back for Aliyah?
No, I think that happened like maybe 2 years before Aliyah passed away. But I don't know the whole situation, but I do believe the gangs are involved. I know I have been told that Ciroc is the head of the gang, and she's always posting the word Pyru. I've seen her in red bandanas. She's throwing gang signs. And that's who I believe killed my daughter is Ciroc. And I believe that Courtney set her up for her to do it. Like in that video, she says, Ciroc, you know what the F you did? Then I have another voice clip in. I'm not sure if I sent it to you or not, but the girl, this girl is Shay. She said because of what she heard with her own 2 ears, she was like, Miss Denise, I told you it was Ciroc because she was moving funny that day. She went to your daughter's apartment and cleaned up and stuff. And because of what I heard with my own 2 ears, they were going to kill me. She said, and to this day, they're still looking to kill me because of what the knowledge of what I know that happened.
Exactly.
So that's the second time I heard the name Ciroc.
But you've never met Ciroc. You don't
Oh.
know about Ciroc.
Yeah, I've met Ciroc because Ciroc posted online that she was thumbprint number 2 to unlock my daughter's cell phone. So I met up with her down the street from my daughter's apartment to unlock the cell phone. Ciroc was 28 at the time. She showed up in the car with a best friend, which I understand. Then in a whole separate car, mommy and daddy had to show up. Mommy kept Ciroc from talking. When Ciroc went to, she used the wrong thumb to try to unlock my daughter's phone, but when she did it, her hand went like this. Her hand was visibly shaking. And then Ciroc basically begged me to take a picture with her. I don't take pictures. And I let her know I don't like my pictures taken. I don't take pictures. And she kept begging me. And I believe that she wanted that picture as a trophy.
Jason, anything you want to say?
You know, it's baffling to hear how so many people aren't trying to be like, everyone's trying to run away from the subject of it, right? No one's trying to hold accountability. No one's trying to help for closure. Everyone's really being in a selfish place. If this young lady was battling something, we need to be there for our close ones and really, lean on them to get help that's needed for them to overcome the struggle, right? But if this young lady is saying and having, the receipts in the messages and also the message itself stating that, she's in trouble, the people that are close to her that was like in proximity, right, should have, really been added to keep her protected, even if it's from herself. We don't know until we start digging, and it seemed like no one wanted to dig to see if, something was really bothering her. Right. And that's where I'm kind of like in the story of like, where is it all connecting at? How is it that no one wanted to help this young lady, especially the one that was dating her so much, right? You're so ready to hop on social media and say that you weren't involved. Sometimes you not doing nothing makes you the biggest culprit, in my eyes, right? So the fact that she didn't do much to help her instead of letting it, go on and then, having things to say afterwards, that's just a very tough thing to kind of swallow. So I don't know if I have much to ask Miss Denise, but it's more of like what I'm starting to hear and acknowledge more between what I've heard, what I've watched, and then also the, what I'm hearing from Miss Denise. So I'm giving more observation feedback.
Okay. Miss Denise, is there anything else you want to, just come out with? Because I know, like you said, you had a lot that you want to talk about tonight just as well.
If it's okay, I just want to, not to cut you off, I just want to tell a little bit about after I found out, after I talked to the coroner's office, because I don't want people to think, well, she might have could have done this or something. I just want them to know my evidence, like that I know my daughter didn't do this, and I'm not just talking smoke. I got documentations. I've got screenshots, voice recordings, but after I found out about my daughter, my husband called the police. They said they confirmed that they were looking at a file that my daughter hung herself and she left no note. That's all they told us. That's all the police told me. After that, the coroner's office called. The coroner said my daughter came out of her apartment with a backpack, Nike slide-on shoes without socks on, walked upstairs barefooted, hung herself with her fitted bed sheet, and left no note. Well, my problem with that was that her door was locked. They said she walked upstairs barefooted, but there's no dirt on her feet. The sheet they said she used is ligature that was previously cut. It states that in the autopsy it was previously cut. That was 21 inches. Balcony railing it was tied to was 33 inches. She was 66 inches. And she's hanging holding a cell phone in her hand. So there's no way possible. A security guard is the one that said he found her. But when I talked to the security guard, like for the first time about 2 months ago, that's when I could get the courage to call him. I called him and I said, so you found my daughter hanging? He said, no. I said, you didn't find my daughter hanging and take a picture and give it to the Black Panthers? He said, no, I was mistaken. I said, you're my police report, and if I found a body, I'm going to remember that. Then all of a sudden, he said, oh, yeah, you remembered exactly where my daughter was at. And I asked him, I said, why did you take a picture? He said, so the peoples could be held accountable. What peoples?
Well, there you go. That's what I'm saying.
So, I mean, there's so much, just like the EMS, the time they got to my daughter's body, it says 4:53 a.m., but then they called her time of death at 4:43 a.m. How was that? And then their paperwork, it also states that her skin was cold, mottled, which means blood vessels forming, and her extremities are showing signs of rigor mortis. I had an EMS doctor recorded saying, from what he's reading, it sounds like my daughter was dead for a while. And then he said it takes a while for your skin to become mottled.
And also when you talk to, I think it was like a female, it was some female that you spoke with, she asked you, was she dead before she was hung? Remember me and you talked about that today?
Yes, I had gone to my family doctor for one of my medical reasons. She did not know the story at all. And I just asked her, would she mind looking at a picture of my daughter hanging and give me her opinion, her medical opinion? And she said, yeah. And she looked at the picture. And as soon as she looked at the picture, she asked me, was my daughter dead before they hung her? I said, that's what I think. I said, why do you say that? And she was like, because pulling of the blood is in her head and it should be at her feet. And she could tell that just by looking at a picture. I mean, if you see the picture of my daughter hanging, somebody that has only been hanging an hour should look like themselves. I don't know if y'all heard of Melissa McKenzie. She was a Black activist. And her son, Dante Jones, was found hanging from a tree in her backyard.
Yeah.
But I know her, and she sent me a picture of her son to show me. And he looked like himself. He looked like himself. I mean, he looked like he was gone, but he still resembled himself. My daughter looks like a zombie. She looked nothing like herself in the face at all. And when I saw the picture of my daughter, no, I did not see the cell phone in her hand. I was stuck on her face. I was just so distraught over her face. Why somebody that's only been there an hour? Why does she look like this? I sent that picture to a lady I met off TikTok. She was a forensic investigator who was retired. And the first thing she said to me, why is she holding a cell phone? That's when I was like, what? That's when we looked and seen that she's holding a. There is like, I want to say like 30,000 people have seen that picture of just her hands holding the cell phone, and they all see it.
Now you got the picture from the security guard. I mean, from the Black Panthers, right?
Right. Yeah, they got it from the security guard.
Yeah, the security guard sent it to the Black Panthers. So the security guard in these apartments, he took a picture of Aliyah hanging and sent it to the Black Panthers.
Well, the Black Panthers went out there to talk to him, I guess, and he gave it to him. But my problem with that is I talked to residents that live in my daughter's apartment complex when I went out there, and they told me they've never seen security walk the grounds. So who is this man? And honestly, the Black Panthers, I don't even trust. I don't even trust. I feel they're involved. Yes, they reached out to me. Yes, they were helpful and got that picture. I thank them for that. The story about them, the reason why I think they're involved is because they ghosted me. They stopped talking to me. They stopped answering my phone calls. And then the lady on YouTube, that I was on her live, and maybe I was wrong. I gave the Black Panthers number because I was telling her I felt like they ghosted me. She called him on live. He answered. He said, I didn't ghost her. He was like, I told her that the case was closed and that I talked to the ex-girlfriend. No, he did not. And I argued with him about that. No, you did not. So he told the lady that did the interview, he told her, I could send you a picture of her daughter hanging and she's not holding a cell phone in her hand. And that lady said, no, please don't do that because it could be traumatizing. So he must have felt some type of way because the next day I was on her live again with my husband. And my husband said, I can vouch for her. She's not lying. They did ghost her. They stopped answering her calls. They stopped, calling her. He was like, so I can vouch for her. And then she played his candlelight visual, which is on my YouTube page. And it's very powerful. And it says something totally different than what he was on her live talking about. But anyways, he must have felt some type of way because he turned around and sent her a picture of my daughter hanging. So I messaged him and I told him that was very unprofessional. And I was basically like, I told him I was going to see about seeking legal help because he shared that picture and I didn't give him permission to. He messaged me back, told me he had a legal team of lawyers. And then he said, if you would have let your daughter come home, she'd still be alive, and basically called me an unfit mother. So, and this is supposed to be the head Black Panther dude that's supposed to help people, be compassionate, be there for families. And you said something like that to me. I mean, you could have just left it at, I have a team of lawyers. And I said, no, you didn't have to say what you said. And so I think they ghosted me because they are in Houston. I think they ghosted me because I think that they spoke to somebody. Because even the FBI of Houston was involved. And they got involved October 19th of last year. And the reason why they got involved is because I had sent them a packet of all my screenshots, a packet of my daughter holding the cell phone, the zip drive of a lot of them voice clippings you have. The FBI, he reached out to me. I called to make sure he was, and he was. But he called me and he said, yeah, my boss received a packet of your information and said that I need to contact you. Something's not right about this case. And then he asked me for my daughter's cell phone. And then, within 2 weeks, he contacted me twice. He wanted me to take the cell phone to the Flint FBI so that they could send it to him. And then, when the 2 weeks was there, it was taking a long time. So I asked him, I said, do you still want my daughter's cell phone? He said no, because the Black Panthers had it, and they could have put an encrypted text on it. And I'm just thinking, I didn't say nothing. I was just thinking, well, aren't you the FBI? Wouldn't you know that? But I ain't saying nothing because I get told a lot. Then he came to me and we were discussing with him. We were talking about the box spring to my daughter's bed was missing. He came to me and told me, oh, crackheads will steal anything. I said, you mean to tell me a crackhead pushed a brand new mattress off and just stole the box spring? I said, no. So it shut him up. Then he came to me and told me there was no dirt on my daughter's feet because they blew the steps off outside the day before. I'm like, what? So I open record his investigation report, which I'm allowed to do. And it came back that there was no such report found. So I went a step further. I called the coroner's office because he said he spent hours there and they document everything. They have no record of this man showing up. So I figure within them 2 weeks, when he asked for my daughter's cell phone, because he at first he acted like he wanted to help, I think he talked to somebody. But obviously, you seen my daughter holding the cell phone. That's why you wanted her cell phone, because they seen it.
Wow. If you was able to just, I mean, like whatever you think that has happened to your daughter, and I know you've been thinking about this for 3 years. What is it that you keep coming up with that could have literally happened to your daughter?
They killed my daughter and then they hung her and tried to make her look mental. And I got proof of that. They tried to say that my daughter committed suicide. And it was 3 people. It was Courtney who set my daughter up. She watched them do this. She let them do this. Ciroc. And then this man, Michael, was the man strength that helped hang her up there. And that's what I believe. So, wholeheartedly. And I've done my research, and you don't even know everything. And like you said, it goes deep. And if these people are so innocent and they did nothing to my daughter, then why October of 2020 did Zeke Will, and through my investigation, I found out it was Michael. I won't say his last name, but I found out it was the guy Michael I'm accusing. Then why does this character, he left me a message in Facebook on hidden messages, which I'm not text smart, so I didn't find out about it until about 2 years later. He left me a message and said, I want to tell you about your daughter's murder, to contact him. So, make a long story short, Zeke Will, Mike, called me at 2 o'clock in the morning, woke me up. I said, oh, you want to tell me about my daughter's murder? He said, no, I want to tell you about her suicide. Suicide is murder. I'm like, what? And then he started sticking up for Courtney and talking good about Courtney. Like, Courtney ain't having nothing to do with it. And then Courtney, they all act like they don't know each other. Well, I got proof. All of you all are connected. All of you know each other. I mean, Courtney sit there, and even the video, if you like really play it for yourself, Courtney's like, and you can send this video to Ciroc and acts like she don't know Ciroc. Why is she telling Ciroc happy birthday if you don't know her? You're telling her happy birthday. And I have a screenshot of that. I have a screenshot that all y'all know each other. You can pretend you don't, but I got proof through all my little investigations, searching pages. Y'all slipped up. Y'all know each other.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play a couple of the videos. Okay. This one, and one of the reasons why I want to play this is to show y'all the lack of respect that these people have for Miss Denise. Miss Denise, I don't think people quite understand. Like, you know that these kids was straight disrespectful to you. Straight disrespectful. And I mean, I'm finna show y'all. And I wasn't even gonna play these videos because we're on YouTube just as well. But again, my show is about awareness, not about clicks and views. It's about awareness. So let me go ahead, and I got to play this. And this is Courtney. Here we go. Oh, hold on. Hold on 1 second. Let me take this one down. Okay. Hold on. Here we go, y'all. Give me a second. Okay. Let me share it.
I'm not the only. What the fuck? You're stupid. Stupid, bro. What you mean you couldn't take that from me? Bitch, I'm not the only. What the fuck? You're stupid. Miss Denise, please stop talking to me. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye. Girl, first of all, bitch, you didn't know shit about Aliyah. You didn't know a damn thing about your daughter, bro. You only know of what people done told you. Other than that, you ain't know a motherfucking thing about that girl, bro. I knew that girl like the back of my hand. If her life was the motherfucking Bible, I know every scripture, verse, and chapter in that motherfucker. The fuck? You are fucking crazy. Get your life together, you disabled, disarmed looking motherfucker. Okay? For real. For real. Because I was the best thing that happened to your daughter, dog. The best thing to happen to her. And a motherfucker that, like you, yourself, you wouldn't believe that. You know why? Because you have your own guilty conscience. You have your own guilty fucking conscience because you wasn't a fucking mother. You can be a mother to the kids that you have right now. That's crazy. That's wild.
Miss Denise, to me, this was like some of the ultimate disrespect. Hearing this, how did you feel?
A lot, very disrespectful. I mean, I was Mama Denise. I was supposed to be her mother-in-law. And then all of a sudden, when I couldn't take her, I couldn't be nice to her no more because she was like victim bashing my daughter and just saying negative things. So all of a sudden, when I'm like, you abused my daughter, I feel like you did something. Then she comes back with all this hateful stuff instead of like, no, I loved Aliyah. I didn't do nothing. No, she did something because, like on the interview she did, I got to ask her. I said, "Why did you call my daughter a bitch and say that hoe was crazy?" She came back to me and said, "Oh, because she was." What? So, and then that clipping you just played, if you heard her say, I wasn't the only, and then she stopped. She wasn't the only one, but she stopped. She stopped and caught herself. She wasn't the only one, and I know that, and she knows I know that. So that's why, like, when I do TikTok lives or whatever, she reports every single video I do. If I speak any evidence on her, she reports me. And then, I mean, she's gone as far as I duetted a video that somebody did for me, and they were out at Aliyah's apartment complex in Houston, showing all the dirt and leaves on the ground, telling HPD they're full of it. And she reported me and said I was suicidal, and I didn't even say nothing. Wow. In that video, I said nothing.
Now, this is the clip of the security guard, because I know you kept mentioning that. So I want to go ahead and play some of this. Here we go.
Hello? Yes, Abdullah. Hello? Yes, this is Abdullah, right? Yes, who's this? Yes, my name is Denise McClendon. I'm Leah Wilson's mother, the girl they found hanging at Piney Point almost 3 years ago, and you were a security guard there? Yeah. Were you the security guard there? No, ma'am. I quit that job almost like a year. Okay, but were you a security guard on July 19, 2020 at Village at Piney Point? Yes. And you took a picture of my daughter hanging? No. The Black Panthers that they obtained it from you, you didn't give the Black Panthers a picture of my daughter hanging? No, ma'am. You got the wrong information. Okay, and but Did you find her body? Did you find her body? What? I said, did you find my daughter hanging now? I did not. Okay, well, you're in the police report, and your number is also on my police report, and it said you found her. I don't understand what you're saying. I said you are in the police report, and in the police report it states that you found my daughter's body hanging. I don't remember that, ma'am. It's almost 2 years. Right, it's been almost 2 years, but if you see somebody hanging, you're gonna remember. Oh yes. I got it. Yeah, no, I got it. I'm looking at that penny point. Is it I think section A? Yes. Her permit was found like next to the laundry room. Yes, sir. Did you take a picture? Yes, I took the picture, but I don't think so. I have it. Oh, okay. I have the picture. I'm not asking you that. Okay. The picture that you gave the Black Panthers, the picture that you gave them, she's holding a cell phone in her hand. How did that cell phone get out of my daughter's hand? Because I received it in the backpack, and the police said they don't have a picture of her holding that phone. But the picture. I don't know that about that, ma'am. Look, that night the situation is really bad. So like she's hanging on a grill, and it's a really darkness, and like I'm really scared of it, really honest. Then I called 911 right away when the cops is coming. So cops in the house, everything. I don't even know that she had a backpack on the top or next to her, and what else? I don't even know that. Okay. Okay. Do you realize the picture you took? She had a phone in her hand. No, man. She's hanging on a grill. Do you really think she kept the phone in her hand? I have the picture of her having the phone in her hand. I have the picture. I don't even know about her phone, man. Because I'm not going to be able to take it. In this kind of situation, how made you take the picture? What made you take the picture of my daughter? Sorry? I said, what was your reasoning for taking the picture of her? I take the picture because I want to report to the manager in the morning AM. So whenever we've done the shift, we attach some pictures, email, and send it to the manager. So what's going on all night? So he's gonna be taking the action against the people or something. So I just take the picture and attach in the report. That's it. Okay. And did you know her girlfriend Courtney Brown? No, I don't even know about nothing. Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
All right. So what you got to say about that? Because
well,
to say.
I did not mention where the backpack was found at. Now I have a police report that states the backpack is by the knot she tied. I have a picture. No, it's not. The coroner's report states the backpack was on the 2 bottom steps. So for him to say, I don't know if the backpack was by her or not, I never said where the backpack was. So that's what I got to say about that. And I want to tell you how I feel. I even feel the hospital is covering up. And they doctored paperwork. And I have proof of this. My daughter wrote a statement May 4th of 2020. And in that statement, at first, that's when she's talking about she put up abuse with Courtney for 2 years. And then she said Courtney came over to her house and bent her finger to where she could barely move it. And then at the bottom of the letter, she states, somebody came through my window last night. Well, how come the hospital record that I have obtained is dated April 4th? I mean, not April 4th, but April 30th of 2020. And it states that my daughter went into the hospital for pains or extremities, in which they'll tell me anything, be a leg, arm, whatever. Okay. But she told the nurse the same story. Somebody came through my window last night. How she know a month of time somebody was coming through her window?
Exactly.
The other hospital record is dated April 16th. Now, my daughter died July 19th. So that hospital record states that my daughter went into the hospital for slit wrist. Nowhere does it say they sutured, bandaged her wrist. Nowhere on the autopsy silhouette does it show of a body, does it show slit wrist. But they seem to have markings from when she was the childhood scars. But nothing when she just slit her wrist about 2 months ago.
Now, tell us about the time of death. The mix up with it.
Yeah, they're trying to say typo, but everybody knows it's not a typo. They're just trying to cover themselves and being like typo. That's medical paper. That has to be precise. You cannot sit there and, I mean, the EMS team, yeah, they don't sit there and do their paperwork right then and there when they go to a scene or something. They're wearing body cameras so they can review it and go back over it and do their paperwork. So they got the time of death at 4:43 a.m., but yet they didn't get to her body till 4:53 a.m. So how do you pronounce her dead before you even got to her?
Right.
Don't make sense.
Do you think someone called that in before they got there? Like what like from your understanding or even knowing how that scenario worked from all the information you received, do you have any kind of conclusion of how that could have happened, or you're kind of like, hey, tell me?
Yeah, I have no idea. I just want to know how they pronounced it before they even got there. I mean, I know she was gone before, and that's something else I gotta tell you that's strange. Coroner's office. I have no body temperature in my autopsy, coroner's investigative report, or nothing like that. So I called the coroner's office and I asked them, what was my daughter's body temperature? They told me 96.7. They said she died at 4:30, and they said at 4 a.m. in the morning, or well, she's pronounced it at 4:33 a.m. They didn't take her body temperature until 7:12 a.m. in the morning, and then they took it by the armpit. Okay, well, I have an EMS report that states her skin was cold. So how did you get that body temperature? I don't understand how they got that body temperature, and it's mighty funny. It's in none of my reports, but when I call y'all, you have one. Just like I asked them, did my daughter defecate on herself?
Right.
They told me they couldn't tell from the pants she was wearing.
And that's another thing that you mentioned to me, that you couldn't believe that she was on the balcony in those clothes.
Yes, it is July. It was 80-some degrees out. And if you look at every picture I have of my daughter, she loves to show her body off. She's wearing half shirts, Daisy Dukes. You mean to tell me it's 80-some degrees out, she's wearing some stretch pants and an ugly blouse, and she's hanging up there bald-headed? Okay, she never came out of her apartment without a do-rag or a wig on. So she's going to hang herself without nothing on her head? She wouldn't do that. And then what was weird to me is when she was a child and she would always, she would run away from home, she always left me a note. But you're going to end your life and leave no note? So, and then, I don't know if I told you, but on July 14th, 2020, Aliyah posted on her Facebook page, F Texas, F my apartment, I'm going back to Michigan. and days later, she's gone. And we were making plans. Her lease was up July 31st. We were making plans for her to catch the train and come home. Her birthday was August 4th.
And when was she? And you said she was found dead in. And when was she? In July, was it?
Yep, July 19th. And she just posted this on the 14th. She just went to court on the 13th. And you mean to tell me there's no court papers, no piece of paper, no receipt in an apartment that she lived in for a year? There was no, I flipped over the mattress. I emptied out the trash can. I couldn't find not a piece of paper.
Wow. Now, I know that there's one thing that you want to talk about and clear up just as well for those that's watching. Miss Denise, this is not her first go round as far as on the podcast. She's been on the podcast before. The person that she was on the podcast with was all for Miss Denise, and then all of a sudden, Courtney came along on the same podcast, and everybody turned against you.
No, basically what happened, she was all for me, and then her followers or the people in her comments was like, oh, she was on the live talking about you. And she believed them. She didn't even let me explain myself and be like, because I wasn't. But she just automatically believed them because it was like she wanted to turn on me. So she turned on me like really bad. And then she got a hold of Courtney to do this interview. And that's how that played out. And Courtney agreed to do the interview because they bashed me. And I guess, I don't know if she paid Courtney or what to do it, because Courtney don't do interviews with nobody. But I know when she had Courtney on, they sat there and they had Courtney's Cash App listed the whole time. And they were telling people to donate to Courtney. It was like, what?
For what? For what? For what, Jason? For what?
I guess for her that's why I'm like, did she pay her? What was the deal here? Why's the Cash App being posted? I didn't understand. But I've gone on her show and I let them bash me. It's like, go ahead and bash me because you got like 500 people watching. I'm getting my daughter's story out there. I can take the heat. Go ahead. I mean, because I always got the buttons where I can jump down.
Exactly.
But I'll take the heat. So
exactly. I just want to make sure I get everything out that you can clear up. Okay. Because you've already discussed this on other bigger platforms just as well. One of the things I know that you wanted to clear up was that you wasn't able to go to Texas where your daughter was until a certain amount of time later. And a lot of people was bashing you because of that, because some people out there in this world live in a fairy tale that everybody got money. Everybody paid. Everybody got some bread hiding somewhere, knowing that everybody's struggling, doggone, damn near. You know what I'm saying? We got some good black folks out there doing their thing. Don't get it twisted. But majority of us, we living check by check. We trying to make it. Please, 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 let us know and clear it on up, Ms. Denise. Let everybody know what I'm talking about.
When my daughter passed away, when I found out on the 23rd, it took me a week to get to Houston. I would have loved to jump on a plane and go immediately. I wanted to go immediately and run there, but I have 3 other children. I'm disabled on state assistance. This was a sudden death. I didn't have money in my bank account. I mean, yeah, I'm living check to check. So I couldn't afford to just leave. So it did take me a week to get there. And that's the messed up thing about it is it took me, okay, she died on the 19th. I didn't find out till the 23rd. It took me a week to get there. It took me like a week to go to her apartment. It took me a week to get to her apartment. When I got to her apartment, everything was missing. Like I said, no paper, no receipt, all her clothing, all her tennis shoes, everything's missing. Her apartment's in her bedroom is ransacked. My friend that was with me, she said, "Hey, Miss Denise, look at this." I looked down, garbage bag full of soaking wet towels. They weren't smelling, they weren't drying. I pulled out a couple of them and didn't pull them all out. They were different sizes. One of them I pulled out was a washcloth. Like, you know how you mop the floor on your hands and knees and it's got the marks on it? Those are the type of markings they had on it. When the Black Panthers did a candlelight visual in August, I mentioned those towels. The police have an eyewitness that this ex-girlfriend that Courtney went over to Aliyah's apartment 2 weeks after she was dead in August, busted out her window, those wet towels. When I went back over there the next day, after the police told me that she busted out the window, when I went back over there, the wet towels were gone, along with all my daughter's bras and panties.
Oh my gosh.
And I'd like to mention this, how the police was like, "Oh, we got an eyewitness that Courtney busted out the window." Okay, well, how come I talked at the beginning to this lieutenant suite? I told him all my concerns. I was like, "Look, you need to question people. My daughter didn't do this. Ask questions." And I was showing him evidence, and he is nowhere listed. He's the one that called and told me that Courtney busted out the window. They had an eyewitness. He is nowhere listed in my police report. His name is not listed. Courtney busting out the window. None of my concerns, none of that is listed in my police report. But with this Morrison of homicide listed on March 25th, 2022, 2 years later, he lists in my police report, in my daughter's police report, a phone call that he got from a lady named Anna on Facebook who told him that I was calling her a fraud, saying she stole my money, which I did do. But why'd you put that in my daughter's police report? Don't understand.
So I'm sure I know the answer to this, but I still gotta ask. Do you feel like Houston police department failed your daughter and you?
Oh, yes, they did. I totally feel they failed to protect and serve my daughter. I feel like they have totally treated me like garbage, like I had no right. It's like we have no right when our children turn 18. If we tell the police, no, ask a question, my daughter didn't do this. I knew my daughter 22 years. These police officers, they might have had interactions maybe 5 hours with her. What gives them the right out of them 5 hours? And I knew her 22 years for you to decide what happened to her. That's just totally wrong. And most of your viewers, if anybody's from Texas, I just gotta mention this because people don't know this. They live in Texas. They have the kinship law in every state but Texas. Every state you can get your loved ones, if you're the mother or whatever, your next of kin, you can get their autopsy photographs. Texas, you have to have a subpoena.
Was you able to have a funeral for your daughter?
I wish I would have had a funeral. I got my daughter cremated. And the reason why I got her cremated is because I didn't know anything about deaths or anything. This happened in Houston. I didn't have money to fly my daughter back to Michigan, have a funeral. So I got her cremated there. And then I was going through a lot while I was there. I was not only searching Facebook and getting all this information, I was doing that. But then the coroner's office, now mind you, my daughter passed on the 19th. I found out on the 23rd. Took me a week to get there. And then when I called the funeral man that was going to cremate her, he called and he had gone to the coroner's office to pick her up, and he called and told me that they put a week's hold on her. And because her father, that was never in her life, never gave me $100 out of her whole life, he called the coroner's office and told the coroner, well, I'm the father. I want her body. I can prove I'm the father, which is a lie. He's not on the birth certificate. So, make a long story short, he didn't prove it because he couldn't. So, after a week, they released her to me. So, my funeral man went to pick her up. He did not inform me. He was putting a week's hold on my daughter.
Oh, my goodness.
Because the father called him and said, oh, I'm the father. I can prove it. Never even sent the funeral man his identification. So, August 4th, he called and said he could cremate her on her birthday. And I told him go ahead because all this time had gone by. She had been laying on the cold slab for almost a month now.
Okay. There's a question, 2 questions actually in the comments. Good questions by Carmen. Hey, Carmen Boo. Carmen said, was there any investigation at all into her death? That's question number 1. And number 2 was, how was Courtney able to get into a deceased person's apartment?
Okay, to the first question, there was no investigation. There was no questions asked at all. Even though I have the coroner's office, I had requested for their policy and procedures. And I don't have them in front of me, so I can't read it to you, but in their policy and procedures, it basically said that they were supposed to see how my daughter's demeanor was beforehand. They were supposed to ask questions to neighbors and stuff like that, and they didn't do that. And when I let the coroner know that they didn't follow their policy and procedures, they told me the police were supposed to do it. I said, but these are your policies and procedures. This is the kind of stuff I've been told. And I'm sorry, what was the other question?
The other question was, how was Courtney able to get into a deceased person's apartment?
She broke the window. She broke the window. That's how she got in. She broke the window. And it's mighty funny that Courtney did a Facebook live video right before she did it. She wasn't on the video doing it, but she was at my daughter's apartment and was like, she's a good actress. She's like, oh, I'm here, baby. I'm here. And then got off the video and then bust my daughter's window out because then the police called me. And I'm like, me and my husband was like, she was just alive there.
Wow.
So, yep.
Wow.
And actually, a week after, I was still in Michigan, a week after Aliyah passed, Courtney was on the 24-hour radio. Now, she loved my daughter so much. She was on a Facebook 24-hour video at a motel room with strippers talking about eating crotch off the bone. I'm like, what?
Now, Belinda.
A week after she was gone.
Wow. Now, Belinda said, was Courtney ever arrested for that?
No. Courtney is doing on the interview I told you she did on YouTube. The lady asked her, was she ever questioned by the police? Courtney said no. The lady asked her, well, you feel that somebody unalive or killed Aliyah? Did you go to the police with what you think? She said no. She wasn't obligated.
Say that again?
She wasn't obligated. That's what she said. I'm not obligated.
Wow. Wow. Well, Denise, we are going to go ahead and wrap this up. But before you go, I do have a special tribute for you, from Peachy Time to you. I will be emailing this video to you as well. You can keep it. You can do whatever you please with it. It's all yours. I will be sharing it as well on TikTok, just to let you know. But this is for you. And
you.
get this banner off for a second. All right, and here we go.
How do I say goodbye to what we had? The good times still made us laugh, outweigh the bad. Oh. I thought we get to see forever, but forever's gone away. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. And I'll take with me the memories to be my sunshine after the rain. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. And I'll take with me the memories to be my sunshine after the rain. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday.
Okay.
Thank you. That's beautiful.
Beautiful.
You're so welcome. My spirit is telling me to say something. And I got to say it. No harm, no disrespect to you, Miss Denise. But I feel in my spirit that I know you're hurting because she's gone. But I feel like you're also hurting because you didn't get that full time with her. She went to foster care. She chose to go to foster care. You wasn't able to make it right in between that time. Then she decides to be grown and go off on her own. You still wasn't able to make it right in between that time. Ms. Denise, I have to say that don't blame yourself. Don't put this extra pain on you. Things happen. I've been feeling this ever since I talked to you over the phone the very first time I talked to you. I'm a mother. Jason is a father. Me and Jason is not in your situation. Our kids are with us. We do all we can to make sure our babies is happy and safe and protected. But I am woman enough, grown enough, have seen things in my life to know that things happen. Me and Jason can sit here right now and say it's all good. We good. But you don't know the cards that is going to be dealt to you in life. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. My heart goes out to you, Denise.
Thank you.
My heart goes out to you.
And you're right. Yeah, I got guilt for that. I wish I had more time, and I know that our relation, me and Aliyah's relationship was kind of rocky, and it was kind of, we had trouble communicating. We were working on that before they took her, but I am angry, not only that I didn't get to work that out with her, I'm angry because they didn't let me say goodbye. They didn't let me identify my own child's body. They refused me. So that's what, I mean, I hadn't seen her for maybe 2 years before this happened, and then this happened, and then I get no closure. They refused to let me see my baby. And so somebody told me that, okay, you got all the evidence, so laws just need to be changed. How can you change laws that are already set? They're already set in stone, and it's like they don't come on the books for you to change them. They're already set. And then with the kinship law, how I can't even have my daughter's photographs, my own daughter's autopsy photographs. That's my child. The law should apply. I don't live in Texas, so I should have to follow Michigan's laws. So because I live in Michigan, whatever their laws say, Texas should have to do their laws. I don't live in Texas. I didn't agree to their laws. I didn't vote on their laws, so that's not right for them to do me the way they're doing me. And I feel that I'm being done the way I'm being done is because I do live in Michigan, out of Texas.
Exactly. I understand exactly where you're coming from. Carmen said everything about this is wrong. It's wrong. Belinda said, Miss Denise, cherish the memories that you do have. BG said, you're fighting for your baby. She's proud of you. And so are we.
Thank you.
Carmen says, my prayers go out to you, Denise. See, now, I just want you to see how God works, Denise. I talked to you hours before the show started. Denise said, I be trying to control my tears, Jason. I'm trying to control my tears. Mm-hmm. She said, I don't want your viewers to bash me like they did when I was on the other show. I have no way, Jason and Denise, to control that. I have no way to contact every single person that's going to come on my show. But one thing that I do know is my supporters, my peoples, my peaches and Mr. Peaches that watch me on a regular basis, I have learned them just like they have learned me. And what did I tell you, Ms. Denise? I said, you don't have to worry about that. Didn't I tell you that?
Mm-hmm.
I said, you don't have to worry about that on my platform. And look at the comments. Jason, can you put that last one up? I ain't got my glasses on. Can you read it?
Jess says, don't ever stop fighting. Even if you think you can't make a change, fight. You never know. God is good, and good things happen, and good things will happen. Just fight. God's got you.
Thank you.
You are so right, Jess. Don't give up.
It's 3 years. Yeah, I've done a couple podcast shows. But it's been 3 years of a fight. I contacted Congress, told them I got over 10,000 signatures on a petition. They told me they don't care if I had 1 million. I've contacted every DOJ, the mayor, the governor, anybody you can think of. I have contacted, and not one person has called me back, has reached back out to me. Not one person. The FBI, yeah. Okay, so that was one person, but they took back their help. But not one person has reached out to me. So I'm used to it, though. No, I'm not gonna stop because it was totally wrong. I mean, and I just the facts is. I mean, I got facts, and the fact is, how do you hang yourself and hold a cell phone in your hand? Plain and simple. Not to mention all the other stuff, but they need to explain that to me.
Exactly. Wow. Jason, what you thinking right now?
You know, they watching. They out here looking. They trying to see what you talking about.
Oh yeah, always.
Always, you know what I mean? And it don't make sense at the end of the day. And it hurt my heart for the last thing that you just said. When you got the petitions, you got the thing, because I was gonna embark on that before Peachy or the missus was gonna ask that. I was gonna go, we can redo it. But they said once I don't care if you got 1 million. That's ridiculous. And I think a lot of it is that one, you're out of state. You're not a part of Texas. You are someone that's just trying to make a change because of and for your daughter. But at the end of the day, you're not in that space. They don't care. You're right. They don't care what you do. It doesn't change what we got going on. Texas is different. Texas is always different.
Always
been different.
Always.
They can at this point they can be their own country. You dig? And that's how they roll. That's how they rock. So, it's a tragedy for this story and you and your daughter to get lost in the shuffle and thrown between the cracks. Because this is a terrible story. This is a very tough story to swallow, lack of a better term.
Exactly. And Jason, one thing that you said I have heard for many years, that Texas can have their own country. Like they on their own.
Yeah.
Like the things that we have seen that came out of Texas was just straight unbelievable. I want to play this last voice message. And this is a voice message that Denise sent to me. And I'm only playing this because Denise just sat here and said that no one has been able to help her. So I just want to play this and I want you guys to listen. Here we go.
I just want to thank you so much for helping me and doing what you're doing. Because a lot of people are fake. A lot of people say they will help, and they don't. They get my daughter's information, and I never hear from them again. So I really appreciate you keeping your word and doing what you said. Thank you so much.
Now, Ms. Denise sent this to me. Ms. Denise, tell us why you sent this to me. Why? We hadn't talked all the time, every day on the phone. You sent me the information. Me and Ms. Denise have been in the works of this for what, about a month?
Yeah. Most
And it
people
wasn't, hold on, it wasn't because I didn't want to help Miss Denise. It's because me and Jason is putting in work over here. We have so many families coming on to tell their loved one's story that Miss Denise had to get in line. Right now, September 27th, today, and I'm finna show you, I'm finna look at my calendar and I'm finna show y'all so y'all can see for yourselves. With me and Jason only do the families on Wednesdays. Can y'all see that?
Yeah.
See the little dots under Wednesday? Wednesday start on the 4th.
All October.
We on the
damn near.
27th. Y'all see that red? We on the 27th. We are booked for the 4th, the 11th, and the 18th. So if somebody call me right now, and I'm telling you now, I have somebody on my phone right now that I got to respond to as soon as this show is over that wants to come on the show. In Messenger, Jason, I have somebody right now that wants to come on the show, Jason. In Instagram, Jason. They got to wait all the way to the 18th and going into November. That's why Denise sent that just as well. I didn't forget about Denise. I didn't get the information and just say, okay, girl, we going to do the show. I followed through with it. But Denise, go ahead. Go ahead. Tell us why.
You're right. Most people do not follow through with it. Most people offer to help me or be like, well, I'm gonna, or they say, like on TikTok, they'd be like, oh, there's people that are sharing your daughter's video. Don't lie to me, because I can sit there and press my the For You page, my friend's For You page. You know, it's got a friends button, For You page, and not one time do I see my daughter's picture. Not once. So I know people are not being honest with me. People, they're having me waste my time sending them the emails of, I got something about that thick of information because I made, this girl told me, well, could you mail me a copy? Okay, it's that thick, like a pack of print paper you buy. I printed it all out. It's gonna cost me, a thin pack cost me $10 to send out. So I can imagine that pack's gonna cost me like $50, but I never heard from her again. But I printed out all the paperwork. I sit there and I spend like an hour just sending one email because I have to click. My friend put it in files for me, but I got to click little individual squares to send off this information. It takes me like an hour to do, and then I never hear from them again. And it's just frustrating that, you know, they have me waste my time like that. I mean, don't tell me you can help me if you can't.
Exactly. Well, Ms. Denise, we definitely understand over here. I thank you for trusting me with your daughter's story. I always make sure that at the end of the show that we let our guest in the show. Okay. And I'm gonna tell you what to say. Don't even worry about it, girl. I got you. I got you. But Jason, before we end the show, you know, I always gotta ask you, is there anything you want to say?
Yeah, you already know what it is. It's, look, don't worry about me. Don't follow me. Don't look for me. Let's try to find some resolution for this young lady, right? Her daughter has been done wrong. There's a lot of unjust when it comes to the story of this. As a people, we can unite to come together to get things solved expeditiously. And it's a matter of us just really working together to find the true facts to show what's going on with this. And this young lady, Miss Denise, has done her work, her due diligence to make sure that the light has been shined on this young lady. And a lot of people are telling fabricated stories. Y'all know who y'all are because I see y'all watching. The numbers keep fluctuating. One like, dang, she's still on there talking? Yup.
Yeah.
She's still here. She's still doing her thing. When she get off of here, she gonna go on her rightfully owned spaces, Facebook, TikTok, whatever it may look like, and talk her talk. She's not about to give up on her daughter. We're not about to do that. So go ahead and help her. Share the live. Share her content. Share the story. All of that is absolutely free. All it is sitting on your timeline for however long it sits on your timeline. And all we're just trying to do is get it in front of other people's eyes and ears so they can hear the unjust of this story. You hear me?
There you go.
And we thank you again, Miss Denise, for being on here and for definitely, being vulnerable and allowing your truth to come through. It's never it's never easy bringing this kind of information up and walking through it all over again. And you have to continue to do that. So that shows how much your character, but not only that, your strength is as a parent and as a woman. You know what I mean? You get up here and do this every single time to relive, and talk about this like they had no respect for your daughter's body. So I thank you for that.
And I thank both of you so much. And I really thank you, Peachy. And I thank you for not, because I went on your Peachy tea time, but this other lady, her the first interview I did, her name was Tea Time. And I did an interview with her, and the whole time I wanted to tell my daughter's story, but she's basically stuck on, oh, you need some therapy, and how are your kids? Your kids need therapy. And she was basically stuck on that. And it kind of upset me. And then what upset me is that a month later, she turned around, and I don't know how she did it, but she ended up getting an interview with Courtney. So that was the second interview she did. But she was on there with Courtney and T and laughing because I wanted Courtney to go on Steve Wilkos and take a lie detector test. They were laughing at me like they were good old friends. So I appreciate you, everything you've done, and that you didn't sit here and be like, oh, you need therapy. Because I am so tired of people saying I need therapy.
Yes. And like I told you, we was gonna come over here, we was gonna dig down deep, we was gonna get to the root of everything, and I was gonna let you be able to tell your story, your side. And I'm here on the record to say I also told you behind the scenes that if Courtney is watching or any other person is watching, don't contact me. Don't contact me to come on my show. No, you're not welcome. Not because I think Courtney did it. Not because I think other people may have done it. I'm not here to judge. But what I'm here to do is bring awareness. We don't need nobody else coming over here trying to change our mind. Because that is possible, Denise. It's possible. You know that. People could come on and tell their side of the story. You be like, what Miss Denise talking about? This girl just said, we don't want that. Miss Denise have presented too much stuff. She has said too much stuff on here for you or whoever else to come on here on PGT Time and try to change our mind of whatever it is that we think. Go ahead, Miss Denise.
I was gonna say the interviews that she's done, she don't talk about what happened to my daughter. She don't talk about that. What she does talk about, like the interview that she just did on YouTube, she talks about my daughter's childhood. She talks about my childhood. Nothing about what she's being accused of. Nothing that's happened to my daughter. She talks about my daughter was a child when she was a child. So.
Well, just ask, have you contacted like mainstream media, Dateline, something on A&E?
I'll have to write Dateline down, but no, I just emailed CNN.
Okay.
So, and then I'm gonna email the Today Show, but I'll write down Dateline. Didn't think about them.
Okay.
But, yeah,
Well,
and then
definitely go ahead and write that down.
And then I wonder if I'm waiting to see if anybody, which they probably won't reach back out to me. But the post office I know was mad at me because when I went in there, they ended up getting a long line because I took 30 envelopes in there. None of it was stamps. And what I did is I looked up every judge in the criminal court case. And then I sent them a letter and I just told them, if you cannot help me, can you please point me in the right direction? But I sent every criminal judge the story.
Wow.
So hopefully one of them will reach out.
They will. They will. Now, for everybody that's watching, if you want to go and see more about this story, like we said, it's a lot out there. You can go and follow Justice for Aliyah on TikTok. There's a lot of videos on there. You can go and research that. Denise, we gotta let you in the show. Gotta get off here. I'm going to play an outro. I don't know if you're familiar with my show, but I'm gonna play an outro. I want you to stay on until I end the broadcast, just so I can talk to you for about 2-3 minutes. Okay? But when I tell you these comments still coming in, I told you, Miss Denise, you ain't got to worry about no bad negative folks over here on Peachy Tea Time. Just said, have you gone federal, like the White House?
They told me they don't deal with this stuff. So yeah, I have tried the White House. They said they don't deal with it, but I did just recently. I did mail another letter to the head FBI guy in Houston, whoever the head owner is, and then I also got sent the FBI headquarters a letter in Washington.
Okay. Send me those addresses.
Okay.
Send me those addresses. I will send a letter on behalf of Peachy Tea Time just as well. So send me those addresses and we can get that going. I will send it back to you so that you can, review it first before I send it off. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull me and Jason down and just say, keep fighting, girl. We got you. We got you.
Thank you.
I'm going to pull me and Jason down. Again, we thank you so much for joining us, trusting us with your daughter's story. I'm going to call her Little London. Lauren London.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Did you hear that before?
Yeah, I hear it a lot.
So much. She really does. But I'm going to pull us down, and this is what I want you to do. I want you to talk to the people I do this with everybody. I want you to talk to the people, if they're watching, that you think could have possibly done this to your daughter. That's what I want you to do. When you're done, all you have to do is say, Miss Peachy, I'm ready. And then we're going to go straight into the outro, okay? And also start off by letting people know where they can find you in case they want to interview you just as well on their platform. Start off with that and then talk to the people that you think may have done this to your daughter. Y'all already know where y'all can find me. Y'all already know where I be at. I'm in these streets. So holla at your girl. That's all I got to say. Here you go, Miss Denise.
Okay, I got a Facebook group that's called Justice for Aliyah Wilson. And then you can also find me under Justice for Aliyah on TikTok. I got a TikTok page. And then I don't really have too much or nothing to say to them. Michael, I am so happy you are sitting in jail. You've been sitting in there since October, maybe not for Aliyah. You got a gun charge, family domestic violence. Each charge is $100,000 bond. That's your karma. I hope that you snitch. I hope that you try to lower your time by telling what really happened. Ciroc, I thought it was so funny right after Aliyah passed away. I thought it was so funny that you got into a terrible car accident and you're laying on the ground hurt. That just tickled me. That was so funny. That's part of your karma. Courtney, I'm waiting on you to get your karma, and I hope everything, all three of you touch, everything perishes. I hope nothing but hurt and pain in your families. And Courtney, that's why your mama can't stand you. But that's all I basically got to say. I can't stand them people. I ain't really got too much of nothing to say. Miss Peachy, I'm done.
Peachy Tea Time is for the culture. If you or someone you know that has dealt with the death of a loved one due to gun violence, domestic violence, the prison system, or even by the police, Peachy Tea Time also provides a platform for missing person cases as well as wrongfully imprisoned inmates. Please like and share this video to get the word out, so the families can get their loved ones' stories out. Email peachyteatime at peachyteatime@gmail.com. You can also DM, inbox, or text to 470-620-9916. Thanks for watching.
Y'all, thank y'all so much for joining. I love you all so much. But I gotta say this. Y'all know I would have went straight into my babies, okay? But I gotta say this. From Miss Vanessa all the way to Miss Denise. Don't play with it, don't play with it, don't play with it. Okay? They ain't playing no games with y'all. They coming on here, they saying what they got to say. No fear at all whatsoever, baby. No fear. Don't play with it. That's all I got to say. Bye.
Peachy time.